Welcome back to the channel, guys. So after last episode, when I sprayed the bonnet, I took a look at it again and I thought, it just looks a little bit rough in some areas. And while the coverage looked okay, I just thought, I could do a better job. So I decided to start again, gave it a clean up, sanded it down again with, was it 600 grit, I think, or 800 grit? Probably, I can't remember anyway. I think it was 600 grit. And then, I hit it again with another full can of flat black and then let it dry. And it was definitely worth it because this is the result right here. It looks much better. Now, again, I had thought about then hitting it with like 1,000 grit, sending it down one more time and just like really getting it smooth. But what's the point? It's supposed to be flat black. It's supposed to be a bit rough. The rest of the car's a bit rough. But anyway, that's what I came up with and it looks pretty good. Now let's flip it over and put some of that Car Builders sound and heat protection underneath. This looks like it will be interesting to work with. It's the regular quality stuff, not the... It's still expensive actually. It was like $150 for this roll, but Australian dollars. But there was a premium version that is double that price. I think it was about $300 for about the same amount. And it looks a lot more impressive, I guess, than this one. It looks a lot easier to work with than this one. But this one was actually pretty hard to work with, I found. So it's very light, it's very thick, and it just wasn't that easy, as you probably see in some of the clips that I'm about to show you now. So let's get into it. So just looking here, I think I'm going to go from around that corner. From here run it along the edge there. And then just straight across there, down the back there, and along here. So just that middle part, up to the edges. Won't worry about that front, where that sign is there. I don't think that's gonna fucking make a difference. So just the main bulk of the middle, up to there. Don't want to obstruct the water squirters. Should be alright like that. So as with everything, paint related or glue related or sticky related, if you want something to stick, you've got to make sure the surface is really clean if you want it to stick and last for a long time. So once again, pulled out the good old wax and grease remover and gave it a thorough clean. I cleaned the surface twice before I stuck. So I started with one section on the side because I was worried about, I thought it would be hard to work with doing it in one big piece, which I was right. I managed to get it done for the second half of it, but I was right that it was difficult to work with. But giving that surface a really good clean was paramount. Probably would have been good to hose it down, fucking hit it with regular car wash soap, whatever, let it dry for a day or two, wax and grease remove it on top of that anyway, and still do that another couple of times. So we'll see how well this sticks, but I gave it a really good fucking clean. I suggest you do the same if you're going to do something similar. Just taking off these hinges, because what I'll do is I'll use the hinges that are already in the car on the other bonnet. That makes more sense, I think. I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that would just make more sense, to be easier. Then I'm just bolting this bonnet without this onto that, and I know that one fits, so it will then just be a matter of adjusting that. I mean, I'm sure these will fit fine too, but I think it'll be easier doing it that way. So at first I tried to start doing it as one big whole piece because that would obviously give the best looking outcome at the end. Don't be like me and try and cut it with a fucking half blunt Stanley knife. Try to use if you got like good scissors, use them. So I grabbed my trusty Car Builders roller that I bought when I did the sound deadener on the Ute. Here I was starting to, I got a piece that was wide enough and long enough and starting to stick it, but I realized, the whole thing moves. It's not heavy because it's so light, so any little movement you make, and if you stick it wrong, it's not going to be straight. So I was like, fuck, this is, a little bit worried about that. So then I thought, maybe I could just do like a little part. So I thought I'll do this little corner here, like right across there, just that first part, and then see how that goes. Maybe I'll do it in bits. So I stuck it down in that corner. If I had better scissors, it would have been a bit neater, the cuts, but it was easy enough to stick that part one at a time in like that. But then at the end you want to have just one big whole piece. You don't want to have like bits and pieces along the way. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to try and do it as one whole big piece for the rest of it so it looked better. So yeah, that's on now. I'll just roll over it one more time just to make sure it's all firm in. And then I'll go around the edges where it's not looking too neat and just tidy them up and trim it up a bit. But it's not too bad. It looks alright, at least from a distance. I'll use the Car Builders aluminium tape that I used for the sound deadening episode, if you saw that, just to, you know, especially down this mark here, or down this line here, use fabric scissors, not butcher's or chicken scissors like I've used. So that should neaten up the edges if I need to, but it actually doesn't look too bad. So if I just did that in one piece, I think it would look a lot better. So I've just limited it to that part. I don't think I'm going to go all out and put it all the way around. I don't even know if it's actually suitable for an engine bay or not. If anyone knows, leave it in the comments below. I can picture that melting off in the engine bay and falling onto my engine or down somewhere deep in the recesses of the engine bay, so maybe it's better just to leave it as is. Other than that, it doesn't look too bad. The edge is a little bit rough. It would be nice to round the edges off, but fuck. Keeping that paper on the back of it was actually harder than I thought. Ripping it off and putting it on. So I got that straight edge there. I don't think I'll bother with trying to cut that off because it's really stuck on. And once it's stuck on, don't feel like it's coming. Oh, actually this one might be. Maybe I can at least neaten that corner. That'll be nice. Not perfect, but I don't mind that. I'm interested to see how much difference it actually makes. I don't think the heat, I'm really going to notice much difference. Maybe in summer a little bit, but fuck, it gets hot in there anyway. But for the sound, that'll be interesting to see how good it sounds. I might just put a little bit around there because it does look a bit shit, but the rest of it, it's not too bad. I don't know if you can get a better view from up here of the entirety of it. Alright, that's all I got time for today. See you on the next episode.